Welcome back to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. If you haven't already subscribed, please do and hit the like button if you like what you see, and also hit the bell if you'd like to be notified the minute I have up new tutorials. Um, I've been seeing some questions about how to make water bottles, and I realized I had never done a tutorial on that, so I'm going to take care of that right now. First of all, I have up all the artwork that I want to use to make this label, and the water bottle that I'm using, your average, what are these, 16 ounce water bottles? Yeah, 16-ounce water bottles uh, usually take a full 8.5 by 11 inch label. I usually make them, because of the water I use, 2 inches in height by 8.5. But today I have Nestle water and it's 8.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to make a label that will fit a Nestle's bottle. So first of all, I'm going to go to File, New, Custom, and as you can see, I had already made my label. You put whatever number you want in here for the measurements you need. So I want the label to be 8.5 by 1.5. So my height I'm going to put in 1.5, and then my width is 8.5. Hit enter after each of those entries and then hit done. So this is the size of the label that I need for the project I'm going to make. And I decided I'm going to put these tulips on it, on the label. So I'm going to bring up, all I do is go down to this tray here. It shows you this little menu, and then I just dragged up the strip of flowers that I cut out. Now as you can see, the strip of flowers is very short, so I'm going to take a second one and bring it up so that I can fill in the rest of this label. And since those are not matching, I'm going to flip this around to that side, this picture, so that the blue will match up and it will look like a continuous strip. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to size and position, flip, hit mirrored, and hit mirrored. Now it has this white line here that I don't like, so I'm going to cut that out by going to cut out in picture, cut out of picture with the cookie cutter shape. It's on the square, and I'm just going to go a little beyond that stripe, that white stripe. I can go above the strip if I want, or I can put it very close. Either way, it's still going to cut it like I want. And then I'm going to just put it around that section, that rectangle of the picture, hit next and done. And then I'm going to delete that second layer, which was the one with the white strip, and now it blends in more. But I still don't like the way it looks in here if you have to put two together. You can look for pictures where it can be one continuous picture, but if you can't find that, then you can improvise like I'm doing. And what I did was I found this image on the internet just by typing in ornate shapes, or high res ornate shape. Um, and I found this shape. It was royalty free. So I'm gonna go here to cut out. I've already cut it out, but I'll just show you for if you're new. Cut out in picture, cut out of picture by color selection. And then I'm just gonna click in the middle of here because I just want that shape. I'm gonna hit next and done. I'm gonna go back to my label by clicking on it and clicking switch to, and then I'm going to drag up, or by clicking on the ornate shape, I'm going to click on the picture here in the tray, and then I'm going to drag up the one that I cut and drop it on my screen right where those two meet. I'll shrink it down a little bit, and just like that, you really can't tell that I cut this in half and pieced it together. It just looks symmetrical now. So I'm going to change this to white by going to Paint and Color Effects. Um, I went to Paint and Color Effects, fill with a solid color, and now I'm just going to click anywhere out here and get some white to make my label white. Hit done. Next, I'm going to go here to Special Effects Shadow, click on Soft, which is a soft shadow. Then I'm going to click on this bottom corner and just drag it out a little bit so that I bring that shadow out a little. Now you don't have to put these elements on there if you want. You could use someone's picture, put that on. But I'm trying to cover up where that perceived flaw that I didn't like, showing that it was a mirrored image. So now I have this here. I'm going to add some text by going to text, add text, and I'm going to change it to one of my favorites, Edwardian. So you click on this down arrow and then you scroll down until you see the font that you want. There's mine. And now I'm going to change the color by hitting here, more color choices, which is the color wheel. And then you click anywhere in your picture and it will make your text that color. So I want it to be that darker pink. I'm going to hit done. I'm going to take the extra italics off of there. Um, Usually that is already off, so it will look like this. And then I'm going to type happy birthday or whatever the message your customer wants. Happy birthday. Resize it by dragging only on the corners. You don't want to drag in the middle because you want to keep the right proportion. So always drag from the corners and you will keep everything looking good. I'm going to do a separate text box to write Harriet because I want to make that larger. So I'm going to now type my name here and an exclamation. And I'm going to resize that, make it larger just like that. I can make it a little smaller so that it can be symmetrical within this ornate shape. All right. So now I have a chip bag that I made a while back, and the same elements, I always use the same elements. I usually don't put the facts on the water strips because it's so small it'll be almost impossible to read, but you can if you want. So I always have I'll just bring up one of my old bags that's in pictured format, which means I can snatch pieces off and drag and drop them on a new page. So I have my information so that they know how to contact me again. So I'm going to click back on my strip and click switch to, and then I'm just going to click on that bag that I made previously, click on my business card information, and I'm going to drag it up and drop it, resize it, and these are going to be pretty small labels, so I'm going to make it fill up pretty much that whole side. You want to leave these ends open because that's where I put the hot glue. I put all of my labels on using on my water bottles using hot glue, and I print them all on Kodak glossy photo paper with the correct settings on my EcoTank printers. It makes them where they can be submerged in water and they will come out still looking great. They won't bleed all over the place and smear. So Kodak photo paper and EcoTank printer is a win. Glossy photo paper and EcoTank printer is a win-win. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my bag here I have, and I'm going to drag up my QR code so that they know how to easily find the party supplies. And I like to, as you can see, it has a little locking mechanism here, a little puzzle piece. I'm going to click that, and you get this message the first time you do that, and it asks if you really want to do what you said, which is ungroup this picture. And I'm going to say yes, and then it asks you if you want um, are you sure? And I'm going to say, yes, I'm sure. And don't show this again. Or you can leave it there if you want to be reminded before you make a change. And then I click on this inner portion, which is the QR code, and I change it to coordinate with the colors in my project. So I'm just going to make, I guess I'll go with the little darker pink and hit done. And now I can regroup that and add the shadow back. Once again, you'll get this message, and all you have to do is click in that box, and it won't show up anymore today. but when you open it up again tomorrow, you'll have to do that again. Okay, so now I'm going to just go back here to Special Effects Shadow, click on Soft Shadow, and I'm just going to bring that shadow out a little bit so that it matches this one. Hit Done, drag it over, making sure to leave this edge because that's where the glue is going to be, and you don't want to overlap it. Now usually I'll put in a thank you message like we do on the back of chip bags, so I'm going to put a white square there by going to cutout and picture. This time I'm going to add a colored shape, and I'm going to change it to white. I'm going to leave it as a square, and I'm going to bring it over. I could have made it an oval also, but maybe I'll make it an oval. I'm just going to put thanks for coming to my party. So I'm going to click on text, add text. This time I'm just going to make it black. So I'm just going to click here and put thanks. I'll just put thanks for coming. No, I'll say to my party. My party. Or thanks for celebrating with me, whatever. Whatever you might like to put there. So I'm going to hit done. And then I'm going to just bring this over. Actually, I want to change that font. So I'm going to right click on it, choose edit text, and I'm going to change it to Arial by clicking the arrow, then hitting A, and it brings me to the A's. I'm going to shrink it down some and italicize it. Hit done. And then I don't like this hard edge on the oval. I'm going to shrink that down some too, but I'm going to make it transparent so the picture behind it can show through. So while I have it chosen, or if you don't, click on it, I'm going to go to Special Effects, Make Transparent, and then I'm just going to drag this across until I can see the flowers underneath, and that looks good. And then I'm going to go here to Edge Effects, choose Soft Edge so that I could take that hard edge off. And I'm just going to drag this slider a little bit, not that much. I can click on the up and down arrows, and I just soften it. I'm just going to soften it up some so that it doesn't stand out so much, and hit done. And you've made your label. Now if you're going to take this into Cricut and cut it out, or if you're going to cut it out by a paper cutter, you just go here, save it, go to File, Save As, change it from, if you're going to do it in Cricut, change it to a PNG. So you just drag down all the way on this slider until you come to PNG, and then give it a name. So I'll name it Lilac, which I have already saved it when I decided on the sample I was going to make. And I'm just going to choose yes to replace the one I had there. And now you can bring up your sheet of paper, which is 8.5 by 11, and you can go to File, Open, choose the desktop, find your label, hit Open, and now I'm going to bring back up that blank sheet by clicking on it and going to Switch to, and then if you're going to cut them out on a paper cutter, you see when I dropped it up here, it froze. To get out of that, all you have to do is click on any option, open it up, hit done, don't make any changes, and now you can see it's movable again. That happens sometimes with the software. I might need to just reinstall it, but it you can easily work around that. That's easy to do. And so now if you were going to cut them out by hand, you can click on this, go to copy right here next to the scissors, and then paste maybe 6 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You just click paste however many times you want to do it, and then for however many labels you want to put on the page. And then I'm going to just drag it to the one edge all the way across to the other edge, and I know that this will be the correct size I need for my water bottle. And then I'm just going to move these down some. All I did was drag from one side to the bottom of the other to move them as a group, and then I just will continue putting them up, lining them up here. And if you have trouble lining them up on your own, making it straight, just click on size and position, alignment guide, click on a vertical guide. It goes right down the middle of the paper if you uh, can see it there, and just drag it to the side. And then all you have to do is drag your image toward that edge where that guideline is, and it'll snap to that guideline. So that way you'll know that all of yours are lined up correctly. And you just continue separating them until you have your page filled up. And I think I have just the right amount. Maybe yeah, I have one too many. Actually, I can make this work because I can make the space a little smaller between all of them. I like to leave a little space if I'm going to cut them on a paper cutter, because it sometimes if that strip is too small, it will cut incorrectly and it'll mess up your label. So try to leave enough space where you can make a good cut. If you have one of those rolling ones, you should be fine. That you just slide across, you should be fine. So on a regular 8.5 by 11, since these are 1.5 inch by 8.5, you can get 2, 4, 6, 7 labels on. When you go into Cricut, I'll go to Cricut now, and you can only get 4 labels in. And I'll show you how to set it up in Cricut, just in case you don't know. I'm gonna cancel this and get rid of those. And what you do is you would click on Upload to bring it into Cricut. Then click on Upload Image, Browse. Click on desktop or wherever you saved your image. Here it is there. And now you can see the PNG acts like an SVG because it doesn't put an edge on it or a background. You just have the graphic or design that you made. I always choose complex so that it doesn't change any of the colors that I have in my image. And then I'm going to shrink it down a little bit just to look at the whole thing. It looks fine. I'm going to click on continue. Then I'm going to click on the print then cut image, and it automatically puts the name there, whatever name you saved it to in Picture It. Then you're going to click upload. You'll see the image here. Click on it, hit insert image. Then you're going to resize it. So while it's chosen, which shows it has all these markers around it, you're going to go here to width, and you're going to make that whatever size the your label is. This one is 8.5. So your full water labels will always be 8.5. And then as you can see here, it changed it to 1.497. But I'm just going to change it. I'm going to unlock it and just change it back to 1.5. So I just clicked. Click on that. I just clicked to unlock the lock. And then I'm going to change the height to an even 1.5. Hit done. And now you're going to click on, if you're on a computer, you're going to right click on your image, click copy, or actually you can just click duplicate. And I'm just going to, now that I have 2, I'm going to drag from one side to the other, do another duplicate, and now I have 4 labels, which is all that you can fit on the print and cut. 9.25 by 6.75, and then hit make it, and you're good to go. Print them out, hit continue, print them out, and then I don't have my I'm working at my desk in my room, so I don't have my Cricut in here. But your Cricut would show here. It says right here, send to the printer. So you would click send to the printer. Then once it's printed, I'm just going to click I've already printed so that I can go to the next step. But I don't have my Cricut in here, so therefore it's not going to go to the next step. But also you would use that I've already printed if you have to, if you print them earlier and then want to come back and cut them later, just click on I've already printed when you get to this step, and then it'll take you straight to start cutting them out. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Like I said once before, don't forget to subscribe and please hit the like buttons. Those help me out. And um, I will see you next time.